My name is Alex Timmis. I'm a Bioassay Study Manager at Cellomatics Biosciences Limited. I oversee a team of scientists, from bioassay associate scientists to scientists and senior scientists, and we work on a variety of projects over the 5 therapeutic areas that our company operates in. So that can range from immunology to inflammation, immuno-oncology, oncology, and respiratory diseases or areas of therapeutic research. We work in a variety of ways. In some circumstances, we have platforms that enable us to engage with potential clients who will come directly to us with a pre-planned or an idea of what they're looking to accomplish in terms of a study up front. And other times we have channels that we'll use to generate new business. So in my role as Bioassay Study Manager, I'm usually operating as one of the faces of the company, so I have direct contact with our clients and potential clients, and I oversee the smooth operation of their study when it's with us, any future studies that they might be planning. We'll work collaboratively with our clients to formulate a study proposal that meets all the requirements they're after, in a timely manner that will achieve an outcome that they're looking for. Projects can evolve and develop, so we're not just off-the-shelf CRO. We look at complex assays, so sometimes the needs of the clients could change during a project, in which case we can help progress those and make those changes and adapt. So we're very experimentally responsive, rather than we dictate the outcomes that we're expecting and just stick to those rigidly. So if a project needs to evolve and adapt, then we'll help facilitate that as much, and we'll always communicate that with the client so that they are as informed as possible, so they can make these quick decisions that are really imperative when they're like early stage companies where their capital maybe is quite precious and they need to get the most outcome from their money, essentially. So I did a PhD at the University of Leeds in the School of Biological Sciences, focusing on molecular and cellular biology. That was for 4 years, and then after I finished and submitted my thesis, I was looking for a career that was outside of academia. I loved the science, but I wanted to see what industry could offer me and what I could offer industry in a role where I have more flexibility and a more dynamic, I guess, exposure in the lab. So rather than being very focused on one really small topic, I could do a variety of work that I knew would have kind of long-term therapeutic outcomes for, say, our clients. I joined Cellomatics as a bioassay scientist. We were a small team at the time, based in BioCity, Nottingham. And then since then, over the last nearly 3 years, I've progressed from bioassay scientist to senior scientist. Then took on some line managing responsibilities for some junior scientists. In 2024, I moved to Bioassay Study Manager. Challenges-wise, yeah, learning to become a good manager. That's the main one, which I think I'm starting to see, and it's really rewarding. So it's nice when you see that someone's got satisfaction for what they've done, and you've been a part of that. But yeah, another thing, I think another big challenge would be it's science, so it's unpredictable sometimes, and even the best planned experiments can not have the outcomes that you're expecting. So it's how you deal with those challenges, and also how you manage client expectations, how you communicate those problems, but not just as an issue, as a way of resolution or an explanation as to why you might see that. And that's where, I guess, good client liaising and good client management comes in. And sometimes you can turn those like adversities into an opportunity or a good outcome. So things might go wrong, but if you can go about them the right way, then you can actually turn it into positive. And some of our clients that we have that are return clients, the projects haven't always gone smoothly, but because of the way that we've managed them, they trust us, and that trust is something you have to earn, and then it can develop into a better relationship that will last, which is good for everybody. My career progression is obviously a highlight for me. When I joined Cellomatics, I had the interview, and they asked you questions of where do you see yourself in the next 5 years and such. And at the time, I was replying saying, hopefully a senior scientist role where I'm, working in the lab but getting some client interaction and stuff. And I think I've sort of surpassed that already, which is great in 3 years. The company itself is very, I guess, adopting of a approach that you can have all the experience in the world, but once you come in the door, what you show here is what counts as well. So the opportunities to progress have been fantastic for myself and many of the other team members. So there's room to grow here. So that's one of the highlights, I think, working here, is you don't feel like you're coming to work. You're coming in and you're doing what you love, but you're getting paid for it, so it's great. Other highlights would be some of the client projects that we've run. So some of the more challenging ones, in fact, where, as I said before, things haven't necessarily gone as we hoped or planned originally, but we've found solutions to those problems. So I think historically, when people think life sciences, they picture the Golden Triangle, and the Midlands, and particularly East Midlands, doesn't necessarily come up, but that's changing. I think although COVID had its major drawbacks, I think it's given a boost to a lot of investment into the life sciences. In particular, let's look at vaccine development and some really novel ways of developing therapeutics that were probably held back or hindered before, that are now able to thrive. And we see that coming through in the work or the project requests that we get at Cellomatics. And people are moving away somewhat from just staying in the known areas such as Cambridge for when they want a life sciences project to be developed. So the Midlands is, I would say, coming to its own, and over the next few years I think it will be held in the same esteem as some of these other historical sites. I think a career in life sciences, it's combining work with passion. As long as you're passionate about the topic that you're working on, then, like I said, the job isn't a job. It's you're getting paid to do something that you're interested in. It's a hobby. It's a passion. You can get excited about what you're doing, and then in any job, when you're excited about what you're doing, it comes across to whoever you're communicating with, and then they can be enthused from you. So it gives, I guess, energy and power to what you're doing. Life sciences in particular, it's a combination of academia or academic type learning, but with an industry as well. So you get the best of both worlds if you were in school and you're particularly gifted at analytical thinking or a topic that's maths or sciences, then I strongly recommend it. So my grandfather was a scientist or a chemist. He worked, I guess, in the 1960s. He was part of one of the teams that was developing all the wash care labels that you see in your clothes. So he used to do a lot of chemical tests on things that they created the fabrics with, to see if they were safe and how they would affect your skin and all kind of inflammation or allergy responses. And my grandma was like a teacher, so she used to run a private nursery, and I used to go to that when I was very small, and we'd do science experiments. So it kind of got me interested in all of that, and I can't remember when I haven't loved biology in general, and I don't find it hard because I like it so much. But I've had times when I've diverged. So when I finished university, I did my undergraduate in biological sciences, and I thought I couldn't do any more at that point. So I went and did accountancy for a year in London, and that was when it took me that time out to be refocused and realised that I couldn't do that for the rest of my life. It had no purpose as such. So I came back and did my masters at Leeds. Over the next 12 months, I'm still getting to grips, or still growing into the role that I'm now taking on, or have taken on, as the study manager. With that, there'll be some opportunities or responsibilities where I will become more, I guess, of a client liaison or a project manager as such. We've seen the benefit of interacting or communicating with our potential clients and clients directly in person. So hopefully we'll have the opportunity, as we're looking to grow our market and go into new markets, particularly overseas, that we could arrange some in-person trips, which would be fantastic. I think putting a face to a name really helps with that trust, and we see that you can generate new work, particularly from those kind of interactions.